Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. You guys know what is up with that. So today we're going to do a good old-fashioned underrated products video. I've been thinking about doing this one for a while, and I hauled out some products that I did want to talk about and kind of highlight that I don't think a lot of the beauty community or people that I've seen on YouTube talk about. And I always like to highlight those products because it's interesting to find like different products that you don't hear talked about all the time. Sometimes you hear like the same things over and over again. But if you guys are interested in finding out some of my favorite underrated products, then just keep watching. All right, guys, so I'm gonna kind of go in order here by, I think, products. So I'm gonna start off actually with, I'm not gonna do a primer. I actually didn't pull a primer, so I'm not gonna mention a primer, but I'm gonna pull two complexion products. First product I'm gonna talk about is the CoverGirl Outlast Active 24-Hour Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 20. I have the shade 810. It's this guy right here. So I would say, just like if you can see the packaging there, it's a little dirty. I've had it a while. This product I haven't heard talked about very much at all. I think the only person I might have heard talk about this was Babs Beauty. And I was so excited when I seen her mention this because I had been using this a while and thought it was like a pretty bomb product. I think I may have mentioned this before in an underrated products video. I'm not sure. But whenever I think of underrated products, I think of this foundation. I don't see anyone talk about this. I used this when I went last year, I think it was, to Dominican for vacation. I used this the whole time. This is beautiful. It's a full coverage foundation, but it just looks so nice on the skin. I just really like the finish that it gives. I do think it has kind of like an in-between, like, kind of like matte satin finish. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. It just sits on the skin really well. I find it smooths my skin out personally, and it lasts so long. This is what I really love about this. This lasts all day long. I wore this in the Dominican heat and I had no issues with this. Like, I didn't notice any fading for probably like 12 plus hours. Like, I wore this for a really long time. So I just think this is great. I do think this is a great, like, active, like it says, foundation because it does stay on when you're sweating, and I really did put this to the test. I like it. The one thing I'll say is this does not have a good shade range at all. This is the shade 810, which is classic Ivory, and it is like a hella dark shade. You can see it kind of matches me now, and I'm actually tan, so just keep that in mind. There is one shade, I think, or maybe one shade or two lower than this. I'm not sure, but I think it's only like one shade that's lighter than this. So if you're super fair, it may not work for you. I hope this is still available. I haven't seen it recently, but yeah, the shade range sucks. I wish they would expand on it because this is a really, really good foundation. All right, concealer. So this is probably not going to surprise you, but I'm going to mention it. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. So this guy right here. So this is what it looks like. You can see that it is well loved, well used, pretty much empty. I kind of should get more of this. It's like gunked up around the sides. Yeah, I should have cleaned it before I came on camera. But it proves to you that I use this guy a ton. I like this better than some of my high-end concealers, honestly. And it's not super expensive. I think it comes in a few different shades. The shade I have is 110 Nude Ivory, and this one works really, really well for me personally. But they do have a few shade options in the concealer. It comes with 5 mils of product, which isn't a lot of product, but it's not the lowest amount of product I've seen, so it's not too bad. I do wish they make it a little bit bigger, like maybe like the 6 mil mark, which is like the typical kind of concealer mark. But yeah, it's not that expensive. It's at the drugstore. It's just a good concealer. This one is one of those concealers that just gives me like a little bit of hydration underneath my eyes. It's really smooth. It blends out super easily, like nothing. I've worn this before on camera and in different videos, and I think I've applied this in a couple videos. It's like buttery, like creamy. It's great. And it really does smooth out the under eyes. It has a decent medium to full coverage. I would say it's more on the medium side, but if you want to build it up, you can. It still looks really flawless. I find this mixes well with any of my foundations, and I just find myself pulling for this a lot because it doesn't give you that dry, kind of cakey, gross feeling that you get with some concealers. So if you haven't tried this Milani one, I would pick it up. I haven't heard a ton of people talk about it. I know some like smaller influencers probably have mentioned this, more so along the lines of what I watch, but I haven't heard a lot of the bigger influencers mention this, and this is a really, really good concealer. All right, let's talk powder. I'm only gonna mention actually one powder. I had a couple I was going back and forth with, but I want to mention this because this powder is like just over $1 Canadian. I discovered this in a Shop Miss A or Shop Misa video, and it's from the AOA Studio line that they carry. This is the brightening, what is this called? The AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder, and I have the one in brightening. Now this is fairly small. I don't think you get like tons of product in here. What does it say? 7 grams, which it's not great, but it's not bad for just over $1. I think it's like $1.38 Canadian. And I believe in the US this is actually $1. So this is what the packaging looks like. And I got the shade, like I said, brightening. They did have a shade like lighter than this. I think like a translucent shade, a banana shade. There's a couple different ones on there. But yeah, this is a freaking $1. And I think this is such a good powder. It's nice and smoothing. It feels like really silky in between your fingers. It doesn't have that like, sometimes powders will have a thicker, like kind of gritty feeling. This is super soft. I find it applies well under the eyes. It doesn't make me look too dry. And I can use this all over the face. I wish I'd have got a lighter shade because this is a little, it works underneath my eyes. I have it on right now, but it can get a little like dark. Like I'd rather have a lighter shade for my under eye area. But this is beautiful all over the face. It does look good under the eyes. Like I have it on right now and I've been wearing it all day and I think it looks great. Like I said, for just over like $1, I think this is a great powder. Keeps my foundation nice and like locked in. It sets everything so I can apply stuff over it really well. And I just like it. I think it's a great affordable price. I think you should definitely check it out if you happen to be shopping the AOA Studio line on Shop Miss A. All right, let's talk bronzer. Okay, so I mentioned this I think in a video recently too. I was using it and saying how I felt like Bobbi Brown was really like underrated some of their products. They're kind of like a boring line, and I think that's why not a lot of people talk about them. They don't release a lot of exciting things. But I have tried a few gems in their line, and one of the things that I really like is the bronzing powder in Golden Light. It's in this like black compact. I've had this a while, but I do use this quite often. It has like a nice mirror in it, and this is the shade Golden Light. This is like a perfect kind of like neutrally golden shade. It's great for bronzing up the skin. I find that this is really nice and buildable too. It doesn't apply like too heavily if you go in with a nice fluffy brush. And I do find sometimes if a powder is too pigmented, I have a hard time kind of getting it to blend out nicely. But this one's just the right amount of pigmentation. It has a nice shade to it. I think if you are like fair light, even light to like semi-medium, this would work for you. But they do have other shades, I believe, in this line. So check out the Bobbi Brown website because I think there are a couple other shades in this if you are looking kind of for a deeper shade. But this one is nice. It's kind of that in-between, and I think it has like a nice tone to it on the skin. So even though like Bobbi Brown isn't a company that a lot of people talk about, there are some gems in there. I like their primer too, like their I can't even think of the name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I like that product quite a bit, but that one is talked about all the time. And this is never talked about. Like, who talks about this Bobbi Brown bronzer? No one. I think it's great. Bobbi Brown has good blushes as well if you're curious, but I did want to specifically highlight the bronzer in this video. All right, let's talk blush. I love blush. I'm going to talk about this blush because, again, I've only seen Babs Beauty mention these. And this is the Sephora Matte Perfection Blush Duos. I have mine in Snapdragon. I do want to purchase more of these, but this is the only one I have right now. It shows kind of the shades on the back. It has a little mirror, and those are the shade duos. This is so stunning. And if you're looking for, this one's great. If you're looking for both like a really pinky, it's kind of got like a corally tone to it. And then it's got like the mauve-y blush. You can dip into either, or you can mix them together. It just looks so stunning on the skin. And these are fully matte. Like there's no amount of sheen to them. If you like a matte blush, this is one you'll like. If you do like more illuminating blushes, I would stay away from this. But this doesn't feel dry on the skin. It applies so seamlessly. Like you will be amazed at how good this looks when you apply it. I really like this. It's super long lasting and it's a pretty affordable blush on the Sephora website. It's kind of that like mid-range, which Sephora tends to be. But yeah, if you're looking for good blushes, I think there's like 5 different shades. There's like a corally one, more of like a pinky, like lighter pinky tone one, and then there's a couple deep shades as well. So highly recommend checking these out. I wish more people would talk about these Sephora blushes because they are really, really good. Ooh, I want to do an honorable mention for a couple cream blushes. These are the Sugar Ball Cushion Cheek colors. I have the one in Creamy Rose, and I also have Posy Pink. And this is from Aritrium. I'm not sure how to say it. It's a Korean beauty brand. And it has a sticker because I got these off of Yes Style back when shipping wasn't effing through the roof because of Corona, which sucks. But I mean, it's the state of the world right now, unfortunately. And shipping is a very small thing to be upset about. But yeah, the shipping is crazy from Yes Style right now to Canada. It's like 40 bucks. But before that, it was pretty inexpensive. And I purchased these two cream blushes. They come with a little puff. I don't use that. I just use a beauty blender, or I use the e.l.f. the airbrush stipple brush. Beautiful brush that's really inexpensive. It applies all cream products really well, even foundation. I should have mentioned that in this video. But yeah, I have these two colors. These are really pretty. If you're looking for a cream blush that's like inexpensive, these are like under 10 bucks, I think. And I think these are probably similar to some of the cream blushes that are already on the market. I would recommend checking out Korean Beauty on YesStyle if the shipping wasn't so expensive. But keep an eye out because I think it will lower again back to what it was at some point. Let's hope. Let's hope the world goes back to what it was at some point. But yeah, if you guys can grab these and get a decent shipping rate, or if you're placing a big order, maybe check these guys out. I'll try to link them down below because I know I butchered the freaking name. But even check out other cream blushes, because cream blushes have been a thing, I think, in the Asian market and in Korea specifically for a while. Korea tends to be more into that kind of like natural, like dewy kind of finish. So I think that's why these were popular beforehand. But yeah, check them out if you can. Like I said, I'll link them below, but these are absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Let's talk about highlighter. All right, this is from Lancome. These are the dual finish highlighting powders. Now, I have a highlighting palette. I think you can still get this on the Lancome website. It was a limited edition. That's the only place I've seen it. I got it on the Lancome Canada site. But you can purchase two of these shades. This one here, this is Absolute Pesh. And this one is kind of the beige one. It doesn't have the names on the back and I cannot think, but it's like one of the shades in their permanent line. But look at these. And this one is a limited edition. It's kind of a pink tone one. I wish they had left the sparkle out of this one. I specifically like these two shades. This one is a little bit too sparkly for my liking. Same formula, but with a lot of sparkles. So I think they should have left the sparkle out. But these two shades, if you can pick them up in singles even, they are like so freaking stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. I feel like Lancome highlighters don't get talked about barely at all. And they're really good. Like, they're really good highlighters. So those are those two shades. Like, look at that. This is kind of the more peachy tone, and this is kind of the more beigey tone. Aren't they beautiful? Like, they are stunning highlighters. I have this on actually today, and I've had this on since like early morning today, probably like 10 a.m. So these are really good. If you get a chance to pick up one of these, I would. They are pricey, but they're really nice. And if you are on the Lancome Canada website and you see this, this is kind of a good deal because you get a few different options to play with, and it's the same formula, just a smaller highlighter. But these are a pretty good size. So if you see this, pick it up. But if not, you can purchase these individually. But Lancome does not get enough attention on these highlighters, so I wanted to definitely mention them in this video. All right, I got a couple more products to talk about, and then we're going to be done. So a brand in particular that I wanted to mention, and specifically their eyeshadows, which is mainly what they do, but they do have highlighters now and I believe lip products. This is Kaleidos. So I have 3 of these little palettes right here. They came out a while ago now. This one is the Futurist 3 Astro Pink. They had a neon one as well that I have, and also like a green one, which I have. All in the same packaging, just like different coloring. And you kind of open it up. It's kind of like Pat McGrath-esque. It has like a mirror. But then these are the shades in this particular one. And these shimmer shades are so close, in my opinion, to something like a Pat McGrath shadow. Like, they're just like so freaking special and beautiful. This purple, like lilac-y shade in particular is like gorgeous. And so is this blue. Like, look at those shades. So freaking beautiful. Let me put those on. Look at those. Aren't those stunning? Like, look at that purple shade. so gorgeous. And I think these are in like the $24 mark American. Like they're not that expensive. Honestly, you can purchase these in bundles. I know it's only 5 shades, but they're just so unique, like the shades that are in the palettes, like the shimmers specifically. But the mattes are beautiful as well, and they blend out really nice. And I've loved all the palettes. I actually just ordered, they came out with a new, like a bigger palette called the Escape Pod palette. It's a whole collection, but they came out with a bigger palette. I bought it. I'm waiting on that in the mail. I can only imagine how beautiful that is. But if you guys are looking for new eyeshadows or a new brand to try Kaleidos. Really highly recommend. Their shipping is pretty good, and the packaging it arrives in is beautiful. They have beautiful packaging. It's always packaged really nicely. I've never had anything come broken, but honestly, just try these out. You won't regret it. And this brand honestly has some stellar eyeshadows. I'm trying out their highlighters actually with this next order, so I'll have to keep you updated on that, but definitely recommend any of the eyeshadow palettes. All right, so I'm going to actually mention a gloss now. This is the last thing I think I am going to mention in this video. I do have other lip products I can mention, but this is one I specifically thought of, and I wanted to stick to just a few products. So this is the Sephora Outrageous Effect Volume, and this shade is 2XXL Nude. I do have 2 of these. I have a sparkly one too. I can't remember what it's called. Something pink. I don't know. It's a pinky one with sparkles. But these are nice and big. Like, look how big these are. I still have swatches on my hand. I gotta get rid of that, guys. Okay, so don't make fun of me that I just put that on my knee. I'll wash it off later, I promise, but I had to get that off my finger, and it's kind of still there. Oh well, it's all right. They're beautiful shadows. Tells you how good the longevity is on those guys. Just saying. But yeah, this lip gloss, I like this so much. I think I did see one person recommend this before, but I don't see anyone else talk about it. They have a few different shades available in this. They have the more like glittery ones, which I have one of those, which I like, but I really like the more opaque ones. There's like a pink one up from this too that I'd like to get, but this shade in particular, this nude shade, is just freaking beautiful. Like, let's just put a little bit on. It's just like the perfect everyday nude shade. It's so freaking, like, I love the little applicator, and this is so freaking smooth. It has that kind of mint plumping feel to it, so if you don't like the mint or you don't like a plumping feel, you probably won't like this. It is a plumping gloss. I personally like that, so I think this is great. If you're looking for a plumping gloss, it has quite a bit of product in here. There's 6 mils of product, so almost as much as a concealer. It's huge. I like that it has the little color tab on the top. Love that. If you wanted to kind of store these, you could store them so you can see the different colors, you know which one to pull. This is mid-range pricing because it is Sephora, and sometimes these do go on sale. Really great gloss. Like I said, in that middle point, not too expensive, which is great. I always like to spend a little less money for great products if I can, so definitely check this guy out if you haven't. It is really good, and if you like a plumping, like I said, minty kind of smooth gloss, I would check these out. I think this is like better actually than the Marc Jacobs ones. Kind of similar to those in a way, but a little bit nicer, and they have good opacity. So like I said, definitely check these out. Okay guys, so we are at the end of the video. What did you guys think? Do you guys have any products that you think are super underrated? Leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. I always like to find different products. But yeah, I think these are some of the ones in my collection that I find don't get talked about enough, and I wanted to feature them, so maybe you guys go out and grab them. But if you guys did like the video, make sure you do give me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. Hit that subscribe button if you want to become part of my YouTube family. And also hit the bell notification because you guys freaking know I'm not the most freaking uploader, but I'm trying. I'm trying, okay? I planned to film today this look, but my baby didn't let me. It is what it is. We moved on and I filmed this video. And it's actually like almost 9 o'clock at night, and he's sleeping, and he shouldn't be sleeping because he should be up, because he should be going to bed now. But it's okay. We will get through it. I digress. Okay, guys. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys!